Welcome to our channel, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Marshall and I have been living in the Scamp now for almost 2 months, and we thought it was finally time to show you our home.
Just relaxing while Sam cleans. It's best this way, otherwise I get yelled at. She wants to do a video of how our camper looks, so she takes all the time to clean it. She's so cute. What you doing, Sam?
What do you want your potatoes?
Oh, she got my potatoes. If they're put away, I won't eat them.
I'll put them in the front. We'll show you the space where we spend our time if we're not outside. Where we work, even well into the night. Where we sleep. Where we cook and eat. And think about that one squirrel who got away. Where Marshall gets caught aimlessly scrolling through TikTok. And where we relax at the end of the day.
Hey, this is our 2001 13-foot Scamp. We're going to take you on a quick tour.
Come on in. So there are several different areas of the Scamp, and Marshall and I are going to take you through each of them one by one. The first thing first, this is our pantry. We have this door on it. This is to keep Percy from getting into the food. We also have two other safety features. One of them is this little cord down here. I'll twist it around a couple times, put it underneath, and it keeps the door from being able to go up and down very much. And then I also have a bungee cord over here that I'll wrap around, and it'll go in through here, and then it'll hook around. So it kind of helps to keep everything stable. I also put a cutting board here to try to keep him from chewing, but you can see he's a stubborn little dog. But it's really easy to dismantle all of it. So originally Scamp made this a closet. We decided to turn it into a pantry just to utilize the space better, but we do still have the hanging rod up here in case we need to use it for any reason. There's no rhyme or reason of where we put the food. All the food at the bottom though, for moving day, I do take all of it out and put it in a bin to keep anything from getting broken. So this little cubby hole here, we keep plastic bags, our fire extinguisher, and a machete. We also have these metal plates on these shelves right here. There is a gap that goes through. It's just part of the thing, part of working with fiberglass, but the metal keeps the back of the door from completely scratching it up. If you see right here, you can see where it's been scratching it up. So I'd rather it be on the metal than fully on the actual shelf. But yeah, that's our pantry. So let's put that back up. So our bed is a full-size memory foam mattress from Walmart. It's 8 inches. So we did have to cut it to fit the egg shape of the Scamp. We have just normal sheets underneath, a comforter, a few blankets in case we need them because it gets cold sometimes. And then we get 2 pillows each. That's just pretty much the basic setup of our bed. Around here, we'll hang some things. We'll use the old curtain rods. We can't pull them out because they are riveted into the Scamp. I have my headphones over there. Sometimes our headlamps will go up, lightning cables for charging our phones. We do have the Reflectic hanging up back here just to help with the light and so we can show off Marshall's beautiful artwork, because I can't draw, but Marshall can. And then I also do keep my bokens for Kenjutsu practice under here. They're just being held up by 2 straps. So we cut into the fiberglass to be able to hang those straps and then hang the boken. At the end of May, I do have a sword coming in, and I'll be able to put that in here as well, hopefully. If not, we're going to figure out somewhere else to put it, or another way to hang it. Up here we have our 3 compartments. These are shelves that Marshall installed. They're the same wood and stain as the rest of the Scamp. Up here I just have, you know, my bullet journal, some books, headlamp, just a hat. So on this side Marshall has some chargers. He has his alarm clock that he deemed a requirement to bring with him from the house. He's keeping our vitamins for us. We also use this shelf to hang up some of our fans. We have 3 of these. They get in the way sometimes. I've hit my head on them countless times, but in the summer they will be a lifesaver, so we just keep them here. It doesn't matter. They are rechargeable. You can charge them by either USB-C or micro USB. Pretty much everything in this camper is rechargeable except for like a flashlight, and that's it. We think about the things that we buy and if there's a rechargeable version of it instead of using a battery. And then in here we share half of this, so he gets this half and then I get this half. Obviously my stuff kind of starts to go into his side, but we're not going to talk about that. He has his electronics and hats, a bunch of spare glasses. If you wear glasses, you understand the necessity of being able to have spares in case one breaks. On my side, I have more books, some electronics, card games for whenever we do get bored. I think, is that it?
And temperature gauge.
What?
Temperature gauge.
The temperature gauge.
So I'm going to go over underneath the bed. So first thing before you pull up the bed, and pull the pillows in. Otherwise they get tucked up underneath the bed. And I always do a courtesy push just to kind of make sure that everything it doesn't get sucked up by the bed. So once I get it up, you can see here we built a little frame. So this allows us to pick the whole bed up at the same time. We have they're shower mats, I guess, but we use them to just kind of make sure that you don't get any like spots that don't get air, right? Because that's how you get mold and stuff in these little campers. So we've got those, and you just lift it right up. Look at that. We put some cast struts on it. That was the product of me getting smacked in the head with a board. One time I was in here working, and I had it propped up with a board, and I guess I just bumped it, and that board came out at, it had to be 50 miles an hour. I don't know how fast it was actually going, but it nailed me right in the forehead, and it was a bad day. After that, went on Amazon, I bought these struts, built the frame, because I think before that we didn't even have the frame yet, and game changer, 10 out of 10, would do again. Down here we have 3 compartments. We have the miscellaneous compartment. Over here we keep just things that we're not going to use very often. Got detergent, dry bags, some camera gear that Sam's got that she doesn't use very often. What else is under there? Toilet paper. I see it back there. So in the center compartment we have our Zero Breeze air conditioner. It does well enough to kind of knock the humidity out of the camper and kind of cool it off just a little bit. 2 batteries for it. Sam's got her stuff she needs to get ready in the morning, so she's got her brushes, whatever that is. She also has towels and things. Well, they're both of our towels. We got 3 Chins batteries, so each of them are 100 amp hour batteries. We've got them in parallel, and that gives us 3,800 watt hours of power. So far, it's been really good. We've been here 2 months and have not even scratched how the low side of the batteries. Here on the right, we have anything to kind of either charge the batteries or disperse the power into the rest of the camper. So we've got the fuse block, we have the inverter, the shore power converter, and the solar controller. This is the remote for the inverter, so she can turn that on, and typically I think you use it for your blow dryer. We charge the Shark vacuum cleaner, and my beard trimmer. But we've got spare wires, the surge protector, a fuse block, and then just some sort of switch panel I made. We got our inverter here on the wall. Wire management is not the greatest, but it was fun doing. Pretty much everything I bought from Amazon. We use the Renogy solar controller. We use the MPPT one. It's a little more expensive than the one that came with the kit, but it's worlds better. just if you're gonna do solar, go MPPT. It doesn't have to be Renogy brand, but the great thing about the Renogy one is we've got the Bluetooth adapter, so we can be walking around and see what we're pulling in on the panels. So up here we've got watts coming in, and because it's an MPPT, you can really utilize most everything that it's captured through solar, and then that's how much is actually going to the batteries. It's not actually 100% with lithium batteries. 100% is technically 14.4 volts, but that's pretty darn close. So we've got, talking about electrical, since we're still talking about that, I've put USB and just the 12 volt plugs everywhere I possibly can think of, just to kind of make things a little easier for us. All the lights still work. These are the original lights. We did upgrade them to LED. Those are super handy. I did replace that one with one on Amazon. Now up here, it started out as kind of a command center, I guess. I used to have, I've changed out my inverter. My old inverters, I still have the remote here. I just hide it with the chart. We've got the battery monitors, so I can lay in bed here and just check, see where we are on batteries. Plug, that was the original spot. So we just, well, actually, it was over there. I moved it. And then the thermostat for the heater. This is actually the heater that Scamp recommends. We got it off the Scamp website. If I could do it over again, I wouldn't have gone with this heater. It is just too big for this space. It kicks on, and within 30 seconds, we are roasting in here. My brother's got a small camper that goes in the back of a truck, and he's got a heater similar to this that's much smaller, and I so would have gone with that if I could do it over again. This was actually the first thing we bought from the Scamp website after we bought the camper. I don't know, we just really liked it, and so I splurged and bought it whenever I bought something else. I don't remember what I bought, but...
During Christmas lights will go on it.
Yeah, we'll totally put Christmas lights on it. Okay, so let's talk a little about the kitchenette. This is way different than the stock kitchenette that Scamp has on all of their standard models. So we did leave the heater in the same spot. When I bought the heater, I just put it in the exact same spot that Scamp had it. We've got this little cubby. This was originally for a water tank, but it kept leaking, so now it's just become a catch-all. So I've got some toiletries in here. Sam has her Shark vacuum, which keeps her sane, and it's actually a pretty cool little vacuum. It's 110 though. I want to convert it to 12 volt. I think I can do that. I've been doing some Googling. Down here we have, this is kind of our, I don't know what you want to call it, just all the, we've got sunscreen and aloe and soaps. And we also keep our MSR pocket rocket. This drawer is probably my least favorite drawer because it's so short. It wants to catch one way or the other. I've got to come up with a better solution than that. I just haven't done anything yet. On this side, we have a drawer. This was the first drawer I ever made. Turned out pretty good. Pretty happy with it. One thing I do want to change on it is I want to put some magnets in the back. So whenever it shuts, the magnets will catch and kind of, you know, keep it shut when we're traveling. We also have this. Sam saw it on the internet and wanted one of her own. It's been super handy. I'll sit over here during the day, put my laptop here, and I'll work. Sam will come over and work on the bed, and it's been great. These are our drawers for clothes. So mine, hers. We've got felt on the bottom, and that just keeps it smoothly pulling in and out. So it works out really well. And these drawers are long enough that we don't have the trouble that we do with this one. So it just pulls right out, no issues. This here is just a fake drawer. Looking back, there's enough room. I could have done those little cubby things where it slants outward, but I didn't. Maybe one day, maybe I'll upgrade it. And we did keep the sink. So we've got this countertop, and we actually, I think this side has the butcher block on it, so you can actually use it as a butcher block. So we'll just sit here, chop, 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 chop. You can see Sam's used it a few times. We don't use it as much as I thought we would. It is handy, but at the same time, I guess I'd rather have another drawer. This window is super handy. I love this window. I've seen some Scamps without it. I'm so glad that we've got one with it, because we can open this window and then turn on the max fan, and they just constant breeze all night. This was another thing we installed. 10 out of 10 would do again. Folks were saying that I shouldn't use the escape hatch, that you would have issues. I was able to figure out a solution, and it works great. If you guys want to see a video on how I installed that, I think I've got some pictures and some videos from when I did this. But it's great. It can be pretty warm outside, and it's nice in here. And it'll pull in or blow out. It's just great. I got that from Scamp's website too.
All right, I'm taking back over. Up here we have plates, bowls, cups, Percy treats, some miscellaneous kitchen stuff like knives, scissors, can openers, garlic press, things like that. And then all of our spices. If you are ever interested in what's actually all up in here, we can do a video for that. We also have our nifty little mirror that seems to work up here. So this is where I go and blow dry my bangs and deal with my hair, whatnot. Also look at that sexy strut. Yeah. I wasn't introduced to the world of struts until the camper, and now I love them. So, and down here we have our dry erase board, paper towels, wine I was drinking last night, our water, candles, where we hold our keys. I got this little bowl from Kay. She gave it to me with a little baby basil plant, and I killed it. And then I filled it with another basil plant, and then I killed that too. So now I just keep keys in it. I can't keep anything alive. We have this that holds all of our utensils. Whenever we're moving, I'll take all of this and just put it on the bed. It stays there safe, and then whenever we park somewhere, I move it right back. In here we have all of our book bags. This is where we keep our laptops and everything. If you're ever interested in what's in these book bags, let us know. We can talk about that too. My camera bag and my trusty cutting board that I use as a tabletop whenever I'm doing my work in bed. Down here we keep this space empty because that's where Percy likes to sleep, and I like to keep something for him to make him happy. This couch does turn into a bunk bed, so during the summer whenever the girls are with us, we'll put it into bunk bed form. We keep the rods up here. So in the truck we have 2 dry bags that have memory foam toppers, pillows, and blankets for them, and we'll put all of that on there for them as well. So under here we have a compartment. So in this compartment I keep pretty much everything for Percy is in here. I hoard his canned dog food, his needles for his insulin. I have some extra nylon bones, diabetic treats. And on this side we have some of Marshall's tools. If you ever want to know what all Marshall has for tools, because he keeps a lot of them in the bed of the truck, let us know and Marshall can do a video just about what he decided to bring for tools. It was a very strenuous process for him to narrow down from a garage to a camper and the bed of a truck. So he has we have a whole bag of gear ties. We may have a problem with gear ties. we like them a lot. His drill is in here, a socket set, all the batteries for the DeWalt drill. But we also have a DeWalt chainsaw and a DeWalt blower, so we have to keep batteries on us. Our e-bike chargers are also in here. The rivet gun's also in here, and the caulk gun is also in here, and the grease gun. Again, he has a bunch of other tools in the truck.
Ta-da!
That's pretty much it for the inside of the Scamp. So let's go look on the outside, and Marshall will take back over.
So down here at the bottom, we have 3 6-gallon tanks. We use one for potable always. Another one is a non-potable, and then we've got one that we can use for either or if we sterilize between. We do have the Joy Hill pump. We got this from Amazon. It's great. It's rechargeable through micro USB. It's just a convenience thing. We could dump it, but hey, when you got this guy, you're good. This is our cooking bin. In here is all of our pots and pans, things that we need to cook. We've got wooden utensils. Actually, let me kind of open it. A strainer, a couple cutting boards, bowls, mixing bowls, things like that. Here's our shower bin. So we've got everything we need to shower. So there's a little battery powered pumps. We can wash our hair, things like that in there. There's some other things in there too. I just know the bin says shower, so hey. Here is the food for Percy. Sam has it all divvied up for morning and night. Super convenient for nobody wants to get up early in the morning and, you know, figure out how much food to give the dog. And then his food bowl. Up here we always keep the kettle full of water. That way in the morning we can just come out and fire it up. We don't have to struggle with it. And in here is just the cooktop. So we have a 2-burner Coleman stove. I have a love-hate relationship with it. Those things kind of annoy me. The higher end ones, they come out like this. If I could do it over again, I'd have probably bought a slightly more expensive one. We do have a line that connects direct to our main propane tank that I can disconnect with quick connects. That way we don't have to worry about disconnecting the propane tank from the front. We just use that same tank that we use for the heater inside the camper. On the other side, over here we have our washing station, the drying rack. She's had this since I've known her. It's sitting on top of 2 bins. These are actually the girls' bins, so their stuff is in each one of these. We're just using it like this while they're not here. Ooh, let me show them this. So, we don't have fresh water connector connections going in anymore, right? Well, I needed to cover the hole up, so I put a plug. So it goes to the inverter, so we can actually plug in and use this if we ever need power outside. We've used it, I think, once. At least once. On the front, we have our bike racks. I think we talked about it in the last video. This was to resolve an issue with swaying. So we got over 53 miles an hour. The Scamp would try and sway a little bit. It's actually worked really well. Here we have the propane tank. It originally had 1 tank. I went ahead and bought a kit on Amazon to give you 2 tanks. So this is where we keep our bear spray and any sort of sprays. My grandpa told me a story about a time they were traveling and one of them leaked and they all got really sick. So I just keep it in a container now. Here's our trash can. We can put the caps on it. Makes it a little harder for critters to get inside of it. Over here we have this is our shoe bin. So we just extra shoes, we just keep them outside. That's going in the trash. It got damaged at our last campsite. Just nowhere to dump it just yet. And then here's our like camping gear, like your traditional camping gear. So we have hammocks and hammock straps and what else? Batteries for the e-bikes and aluminum foil of all things. Yes, that's for camping. Then over here we have our briefcase. Solar panels. This came with the PWM style solar controller, which is garbage, but we still use the panels. So this is where everything comes into the camper or leaves the camper. This was originally where you had the Shore power plug. I went ahead and left the original here, but I can do 12 volt or pass things in and outside of the Scamp. I added this. This is just a quick connect so I can quickly add and remove solar. Basically anything that I use regularly, I've tried to put it at their own port. And here is where you hook shore power up, or our generator, whichever. And then up top we have our other solar panel. So let me climb up here. Sam, if you want to hand me the camera, I'll show it off real quick. So, up here you can see the other solar panel, and which ties in through a little box. So this is our cell phone booster, and it's on a flagpole, and I've got an omnidirectional antenna and a unidirectional. Unidirectional is much more targeted, where this is much more general. It's all counting on the area you're in, which is better. I do want to say that it works, but don't think you're getting 5G speeds out of this. You're going to get enough to do some quick, like, surfing. You may get a meg down, meg and a half. It's not going to be revolutionary, I promise you that. But it has helped us in certain areas where we got this much, which turned into this much. You know what I mean? So don't expect great things. I've actually got a plan where I'm going to try and like put my cellular router on it, but that's for the future, Marshall, to figure out.
And why isn't it up now?
Oh, we're in an area where we have decent service. AT&T's great, even 5G T-Mobile. So inside the camper, it's a little weak, but I mean, it gets us by.
So that is the tour of our Scamp.
We had a lot of fun doing these renovations. Not all fun, there was definitely some struggles. We learned a lot, and we'd love to share it with you guys. So please just mention it in the comments, anything you want to know a little more about, and we'll try to make some small videos to try and help you guys out.
Yeah, we were thinking about having like a side playlist that just has like these 3-4 minute videos based on one topic. So like if you're interested about the bike rack and how that was put together, there would be a sole video just on the bike rack, or the solar, or whatever. Just so you don't have to like watch the whole entire video just to get to something. We have these little side videos.
Yeah, so definitely comment some of those so we can come up with some priority recordings.
Yeah, because in the end, we're all learning from each other. So if we can help someone else get to the point that we're at and make it easier for them, that'd be good.
Agreed.
Okay, so till next time, bye.